sandy beach, pine trees, nicely paved roads. This is not a regular seaside resort. This is dacha outside of Mariupol, which used to belong to former Ukraine's President Yanukovych family. Now, this is one of the training camps of Ukraine's volunteer regiment, Azov.
There are currently more than 20 volunteer battalions serving alongside the Ukrainian army in the defense of the country against Kremlin-backed forces. The Azov battalion has attracted more attention than most, not all of it positive. Since the start of the conflict in East Ukraine, the Azov battalion has been singled out by the Russian media and accused of right-wing extremism and fascism. The battalion's use of swastika-style emblems and the links of some members to far-right political groups have made it a favorite among Russian correspondents seeking to portray Ukraine's volunteer battalions as neo-Nazis bent on genocide. According to official Kremlin propaganda, the main task of the Azov battalion is to exterminate the Russian-speaking population of eastern Ukraine. Surprisingly, the first Azov commander we talked to at the base is himself a native Russian speaker. He tells us about the expansion of the battalion and its recent transformation into a fully fledged regiment. We have received reinforcements and are now conducting basic training. Recruits undergo firearms training, martial arts classes, and tactical studies. The overall result is more people, more potential, and greater strength. Our second discovery is perhaps even more eye-opening. More than 20 volunteers among the Azov ranks came from Russia itself to help defend Ukraine. We spoke to one fighter, a 20-year-old Artyom, who came from Samara in the Russian Federation. He explains what motivated him to leave home and travel to Ukraine to join the fight against Vladimir Putin's imperial ambitions. I never supported the Putin's regime, which I consider to be anti-Russian. Here, in Ukraine, I can actually do something to fight against the regime, not only with words, but also with my deeds. As well as Russian volunteers, the Azov battalion has also attracted a number of other non-Ukrainian recruits. This Swedish volunteer serves under the Ukrainian nom de guerre, Mykola. He currently acts as the commander of the unit's foreign fighters and says that he is motivated by a desire to stop Russian aggression in its tracks before it can pose a threat to the rest of Europe.
Because as I saw it then and as I saw it now, if we don't stop the activists in East, I think the separatists with help from Russia will continue west.
And by west, Mykola is not only referring to Western Ukraine. He believes that Vladimir Putin poses a direct threat to the security of the whole Europe. This fear of a larger European conflict is why he's here in eastern Ukraine.
I'm fighting for Europe. I'm fighting for Ukraine. That's the thing. I fight for Europe first and I fight for Ukraine. Because if we don't help Ukraine to stop this, it will be my problem. When we talk in a group, people are concerned of what's happening in Ukraine, and they think it's also Europe's cause, because we don't want a new war in the central part of Europe, and we think that we must stop this here.
Russians, Swedes, and a whole host of other nationalities, all of them have volunteered to come here and fight with the sole purpose of stopping Russian aggression and helping Ukrainians to defend Ukraine. The Ukrainian volunteers of the Azov battalion see themselves as patriots and nationalists. They tend not to take the many accusations of fascism and Nazism which have been leveled at them seriously.
In most of cases we just laugh at people that call us Nazis or fascists or other things.
Codenamed Viri, this 26-year-old Ukrainian volunteer is not a fighter. He serves in Azov's information center and tries to counter the myths and slurs which continue to dog the unit.
Fighting for nationalism in our country, because nationalism is love to our nation, to our country, and it's brotherhood with other nations and with other countries.
The fighters of the Azov regiment remain among the most controversial combatants involved in the conflict in East Ukraine. They are